Hello, namaste and good evening. This is Somnath Gimire. I'm going to talk on my reflection on translation theories in praxis. This video has been prepared as a part of university course assignment. Let's move ahead. In this video, I will cover my perception of translation before and after taking the translation course. And also the video will talk about some of the theoretical insights and the particular theoretical insights that actually shaped my perception and understanding of translation, along with its joys and challenges and my observation about its significance in academia and professional context. With this, I'll conclude my video. Let's move ahead. My perception of translation, before taking the course, I actually used to think translation as the work or product. It is more focused on the product. But later, while taking the course and while doing workshops and assignments, I came to understand that translation is more than a product. This actually focuses on the process of translators, choices of the words, choices of choices of vocabulary and equivalent terminologies, maybe about the phrases of syntactic elements and linguistic structures when a translator actually transforms a particular message of a particular text written in the source language into a target language. So for a translator, the job of translation is also transposing, transforming, and changing the codes of source language into the codes of target language. So this also demands a kind of changes, kind of transformation of cultural, psychological, political, historical, and ideological perspectives of the writer. So this is more as the process than this is more focused on the product. While doing the course, we actually had a lot of opportunities to go through some of the ideas, the philosophy, and the views of also the translator as well as a theorist and translation scholars. So among them, we had a lot of ideas, philosophy. About translation by Holmes, Snell, Harvey, Newar, Grossman, Schleiermacher, Binet, Jacobson, Nida, Monday, Venutia, among other theorists and scholars. All of them, I actually found all of them had a different kind of agenda to talk about the translation. So, however, they have opened up a lot of possibilities for the translator, because a translator is the person who has got the agency, creative agency to connect interlingual and intercultural, intersocial practices. So the job of translator is actually more valuable, in a sense that a translator may take the way of translating text through the philosophy of foreignization that actually is the concept of Schleiermacher that actually fascinated me much. When a translator translated text using the method of foreignization, a translator is more loyal towards the source text, more loyal towards the source culture, more loyal towards the source nuances. But when a translator translates a text using domesticating method, translator is more loyal towards the reader, means more loyal towards the target language. So because this focus is about the intelligibility of the reader, so that readers will have no problems. They easily understand that the text is written in their own language. But if writer follows foreignization method, a reader can easily understand that the text is a translated text, because it is more closer towards the culture of the source language. So among them, I was also more fascinated fascinated by Lawrence Benetti's idea about the politics of domestication, when if a translator translates a text using domesticating method, he is more loyal towards the reader. He is more loyal towards the target language readers, and not loyal towards the source language, not more loyal towards the source nuances. So this is a kind of politics for him, because a translator might actually do injustice towards the source text if he actually, or if he or she actually follows the method of domestication. So my insights from translation experience, I came to understand with these theories and workshops. We had a poetic translation, legal translation, and economic text translation. With these experiences of actually locating equivalent terminologies, phrases, syntactic elements, and also finding the voice of a particular discipline and its codes, as well as more technical terms, locating all these is always a challenging task. Even the challenge is to maintain the spirit of the writer, to maintain the spirit of the cultural codes, to maintain the spirit of social nuances and voices. So actually, the job of translation and the job of translator is to enhance the ability to make right choice between words and meanings and meanings, sense and sense to sense translation, and along with locating other functional aspects of translated and the source text. So the job of translator and the work of translation actually do have a lot of joys and challenges in itself. Joys in the sense a translator gets an opportunity to immerse into the text of a source language. Immersing into the text of source language is immersing into going deep down into the consciousness and subjectivity of a writer who writes who has written the text, and acting to be somebody else, and seeing the world through his or her eyes, through his or her consciousness and perspectives, and translating these perspectives into the target language is really a joy. And as well as at the same time to be able to maintain these codes more justifiably is a challenging job, because languages are always incongruent. There are no actually similarities between languages and their ways of expressing and their ways of understanding about the world. So locating equivalent terminologies, cultural idioms, and on translatability of lexical items and the textual codes written in a particular culture, a particular society, in a particular nation, and transforming this into another culture, another language, and another nuances is also a challenging task. So my observation of translations leading to academia and profession is that though the translation is recently seen as a recent phenomena developed in academia and disciplines, but translation is as long as human history, because human history is all fragmented history. Societies have been fragmented with different linguistic codes, different social norms, values, and different social and cultural practices throughout the history for far too long. The job of translation and the work of translation and the phenomena of translation and this has always remained fruitful to connect these societies, to connect different disciplines, to connect different voices and of different times and different spaces. So this has got a more richer professional context for societies to develop in international level, for societies to be able to communicate and maintain kind of harmonious relationship among each other. So the job of translation and the profession of translation in academia, as well as in different business contexts, social, cultural, and political contexts, are all reads. My okay. I'd like to conclude my video presentation with the idea that as the world is currently emerging through digitalization and digitalism, because more and more human activities have been emerging into digitalism, and more people have adopted digital technologies to perform. So these performances have been more on digital technologies, and with the performances in digital technologies and digital platforms, a new kind of semiotic practices have been there. And for these new semiotic practices and semiotic resources, a translation needs to have a different look for these different look of these different contexts to establish, to maintain, and to fill the gap and to enhance the communication between and among societies, cultures, and nations. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you.